Hello and welcome back. Today we're gonna be making hair. I got a few references in the background. As you probably can see, I only have a short hair. That's what I recommend for the beginning. The shorter hair is a bit easier to control. I went through and used few different techniques of making the hair. As you can see, some of them look not good on her. So it's a lot of trial and error. And I decided to go on the hair very long. And I'm gonna show you how I do it. Okay, so you can right click, create new collection and do everything in a new collection. Don't forget to have it selected. I'm gonna go into curves and create a circle. Don't forget to go into edit mode, and I'm gonna move it a bit upwards so I can see it better. I'm gonna scale it down and create again a curve, and it's gonna be a path. A path is the easiest to control from all of them, and the choices are pretty great, which you can use. Okay, so when you have these two things, while the curve is selected, you go into the curve options. There is geometry and the bevel. On the bevel, you will have to select the circle you have created, and your path will get the shape of the curve. As well as I'm gonna shape the ends of the hair by pressing Alt S, as you can see on the corner, and I'm gonna move them in, making them smaller. As well, I'm gonna change the hair form. I'm gonna select everything, press V, and choose the free one, because free one just lets you freely move. I'm gonna scale it on the X, maybe make it a bit longer on Y axis, as well as I can make them a bit sharper corners. So yeah, you can go crazy, but I don't really feel like we need to. The more crazy we're gonna go, the harder it's gonna be to control. Okay, I'm actually gonna make it a bit thicker. Don't forget Alt S is for scaling. And I'm gonna start setting up it into the places. By pressing A, I select everything. Pressing Alt A deselects everything. So I'm just trying to find a good place. Finding a good reference will definitely help you. As you can see, this here starts from quite far into the head. That's why reference is very important. It might be a bit complicated to understand how everything is working with the curve, but it just takes a bit practice and you will get it down and understand how easy it is to control it. Another shortcut for the curves is Ctrl T, and you can rotate it, so I can set it up as on rotation I want. Don't go in and try to make a very long hair. I'm gonna do just a bit like shoulder height. As you can see, this path curve doesn't let you go crazy with the curve, which will make the control much easier, and you can go too far from a normal shape. I'm gonna make it a bit thicker, but And just select everything and Shift D to duplicate it. And move the curves again. You should try to keep the length similar. So it doesn't start looking too weird. Remember, with the simple you cannot go wrong. By making it too complicated, you're just making it way too hard for yourself. I'm gonna move this back here behind her. And I wanna have that nice bedding shape. You can see a path is very, very easy to control. It's not like by changing a small thing, everything's falling down. What you can do is select only the ending and have your movement from active point. So when you're gonna duplicate it and rotate it, it's gonna rotate from this path. Just if you want it. It's not too hard to set it up anyways. Okay, I actually need to start this one from the middle. Okay. Don't forget to have a nice flowing shape of the hair. They can be merged with the head, don't worry too much, especially is that it's wrongly tilted. I'm gonna tilt it in the right way. The hair is very, like, it can be very soul crushing because the hair always looks very bad and it only starts looking good at the end. So try to not get discouraged as much as possible because in the end it's gonna be looking great. And yeah, I'll try not to cover the empty place so I don't mess it up later. Another thing is you can see the orange line is the one I have one vertex selected, so it's very easy to see what I have selected at the moment. Okay. Another thing is having this sharp end leaves a lot of bald places on the head. So what I would like to do is move the end a bit further and press E to extrude another point and drag it in the place where I want, and maybe have the second end a bit closer and just make it bigger by pressing Alt S, and this way I have more coverage. I'm going to do the same with this one. As you can see, there's way less visible places now, and she's not gonna be looking as bold as she used to be. It's pretty fast and easy process, as well as you can have one vertex selected and use the tilt, Ctrl T. All right. Be careful so you don't have these touching areas. Look weird. All right. So it's basically just duplicating. I didn't do the end at this place, so I'm gonna do it now. Don't make it too fat, but it's fine to have a nice volume there. Okay, that's the wrong end. At some point, it might become hard to follow everything. Okay, wait. I'm just gonna set this one up so it doesn't touch others. Okay, so when you have it set up, I'm just gonna duplicate it and press P to separate it. Now I have the separated one and another ones are not in my way. So as you can see, the curves are very easy to control. Maybe I can even make these ones a bit smaller. Don't forget that you can always go back to your circle and just make the hair longer or shorter the way you want it. Like having these so small would be very hard to fill in. All right. So I don't want to have it too big, but I'm fine with being this case. It's not that big. And as well as like, okay, I maybe want this different. So what I could do is just Shift D and make this one a bit longer. And just change on the separated one to longer one. So I don't have it to have as thick, because it doesn't have to be covering the head and making the volume. This is just needs to cover her bolder parts, and I don't want to have more volume on the side, because it's gonna look like she has way too many hairs. As well as maybe I'm gonna do the same to these ones too. I'm just gonna separate, as well as I can join them. It's just that these ones got way bigger, so I'm gonna make them smaller. And as you can see, there's a lot more place, so the hair won't look that massive. And the hair is like I told before, it looks bad for a very long time, but it just needs time. You go over, do these small adjustments, and get the hair in the places where you want them. And don't get discouraged on how it looks like. So it's basically from now, it's just repeating the process and making the style which you want. this style of the hair might not work for your character. I tried doing a shorter hair, more like this style. I would probably need to add way more volume from the top, but I just didn't like how it looked like. I probably should have continued, but as you can see, it's not working. I tried this one, it was not working. I went and tried sculpting this one, but it wasn't a good idea. It's very hard to do. And in the end, I just decided like this have a nice drop, and I'm like, maybe I should do that. And I did that this way, and it worked for this character, but as I told again, it might not work for your. So you just have to go through and see which one is working for you. All right, so basically this is going over and doing the same thing. It might be hard to get a new shape in, but when you got one right, duplicating another one is not that difficult. All right. Probably gonna make this a bit smaller. Don't forget your side views. Take quick looks at your reference image. And work accordingly. I see the tilt is wrong. Trying to close the bold places. Don't worry too much at the top of the hair. It still has to look good, but worry about making the shape right. And when you feel like you're very comfortable from how your model looks like, of course I didn't do the front ones. They are very, very important for the look as well. I'm gonna make one quickly. Quickly, just to demonstrate. All right. And as well as if like you see I don't have enough control, I'm gonna make this as wide as another ones, and just try to get this in the best place as possible. And when I can't, I'm just gonna extrude and have as many extruders as I need. When I feel comfortable, I'm gonna scale the end and have this like very cool and hard to control shape, but it's very easy with this path curves. All right. Another thing is important today here is adding a small ones. So what I mean a small one, I'm gonna wait. Did I get the wrong one? I'm gonna duplicate this big one. With Alt S, make it slim. And you can have it like a split. It's just a lot of playing around. and it might add a lot of interest to your hair, just having these smaller volume shapes going. I probably end up adding way too much and having these ones too far in. And it's like, you can see how easy it is for me to go back and change and do just small tweaks with having this path tool. And yeah, basically I'm gonna go over and just keep adding the curves like this, but the tutorial is going already too long. So you can play even with these values, but they don't really do that much. So yeah, go have fun shaping your hair, adding interesting shapes, and just try making your hair. And you can always like go over and change the shape, which is nice as well. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Bye.